What's up, guys? Today we're going to be listening through This Is Why by Paramore. We're going to be giving our initial thoughts, our review, our ratings, picking our favorite songs. Stick around, check it out,
Just stick around.
please. What's up, buds? Welcome to the Earbuds Podcast. This is a podcast where two buds talk about one album for a good amount of time. Today, we got a fresh drop for y'all.
So fresh.
This is from my anticipated album of 2023.
Yep.
This is Paramore's This Is Why, their newest album in 6 years.
You must be just schwitzing.
I'm schwitzing. I'm schwitzing. I'm boogieing. I'm kind of fidgeting a little bit.
You're a big Paramore fan, right?
I am. I wouldn't say I'm as big as most Paramore fans are. But I really liked their last album, After Laughter. I've always loved, their first couple records like Riot and whatever the Butterfly one is.
But you've said that they've changed a lot through the years because they kind of started out as were they pop punk? Were they punk?
They were
Never really listened to them, obviously.
they wouldn't say it, but they were kind of like emo, pop rock, pop punk type of thing.
Okay.
And over the years, they've kind of gone a little more poppy, which all culminated on After Laughter and kind of started with the album before with that song Ain't It Fun Living in the Real. Do you not? What?
I've literally never heard one Paramore song.
That can't be right.
I somehow have avoided them for the last 10, 15 years or whatever.
No, that's what you get when you let your heart win.
No.
Fucking, I'm in the business of misery. Let's take it from the top. Got a body no. Oh, whatever makes you glad. Cause I got it where I want it.
Okay,
now.
I've heard that.
You know that.
I've heard that.
Fuck you.
Hey man, I didn't know it was Paramore. Yeah, that's all I've heard. That sounded familiar to me. I don't know. I even worked at PacSun for 2 years and somehow didn't hear Paramore.
Yeah, there's no way, dude.
I don't understand. Maybe I just blocked it out of my memory. But I got nothing against them. We heard that Se Começa song on our singles fucking show that we did a couple weeks ago. So, know, and it was fine. We were that was a cool kind of French inspired pop song. But I don't know, did that kind of make you a little worried for this record?
It did make me a little worried. At this point, I'm not really putting any expectations on it because they tend to change a lot. They never seem to be comfortable doing the same thing for too long.
Have you liked everything they've done?
No, I have not.
So this is not a guaranteed fucking alley-oop here.
It's not. It's not really.
Okay.
But I'm still really excited for it. And I'm just excited to fucking eat it out, you know?
You're
what I'm saying?
You're psyched to go to give this album brain?
I'm psyched to give this album some fucking brain, dude. To fucking blow some cranium.
All right, well, everyone strap on your chindos and let's hop into This Is Why by Paramore. Heads up, if you're watching this on YouTube and you actually want to hear our song-by-song reaction, go listen to this episode on our Spotify page. Go to search earbuds and go to Spotify. And you'll actually hear the song, and then immediately afterwards you hear our thoughts. But if you're watching this on YouTube, it's going to cut out here. We're going to cut to the end after we've already heard the whole album and give our overall thoughts and rating and talk about our favorite songs. So stick around. Let's fucking get into this. This Is Why, title track, super original.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. Oh my god, this one already has 36 million plays on it.
It's Paramore, baby.
Jesus Christ.
They are no indie act, bud.
I really, I kind of feel like it's all going to sound like Se Começa, but I don't know.
We'll see.
From what you've told me. Let's see. Let's get into it.
All right. This is why. 3, 2, 1, go.
We just finished listening to This Is Why by Paramore. And yeah, man, we definitely had some thoughts while we were listening through this album. Ash, I want to give you the floor and let you give your rating and your review first, because you're the fan here. You know, like, you're the one that came into this with experience.
Listen, I'm the fan, so just let me talk, all right?
You're the fan. This album probably means more to you than it does to me.
It's probably like one of the most important albums to me at the moment.
Damn, okay, I'm expecting a high rating then.
No, it's not. It's a good album. It's a good fucking album.
Yes.
It starts off, seems like side A has a lot more energy than side B, which may be something that's just happening in the industry now. I don't know. We've seen it on a good couple albums.
It's a weird trend that we're noticing that, yeah, the first half of the record is front loaded to the point where it's like, what's bad about it is that it hinders the whole album at the end of the day. Where I don't know if a lot of producers or artists are thinking, like, put all the good ones up front, and then the ones that we feel like are weaker, put it at the end, because all that does is make the second half of the record feel shitty compared to the first, and then it makes you dislike the first half a little bit. Like, it makes you like it a little bit less, and that's what it keeps doing to me. So it's a bummer.
I wouldn't say the songs were worse on the second half. I would say it was definitely a lot more mellow, a lot more chill.
That's true.
I personally enjoyed the songs on the first half just because they were, like, on this album in particular, a lot of very catchy, kind of upbeat music, while the lyrics were still very, very kind of cynical, very emo, you know, in a way, but very, like, reminiscent of the pandemic and feelings that I'm sure most people got during that time.
Yeah, it brought up way too many
it was
buried emotions.
A little rough.
Me.
It's a I'd say it's a drum and bass kind of
forward
based record
album. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I love the guitars all throughout it. I think they do interesting parts. There's a lot of interesting effects. There's a lot of interesting silences of the guitar with sporadic coming in different parts of the mix. Yeah. Haley's voice is A1 on this whole thing.
Top notch.
S tier.
Yeah.
On this whole thing.
She killed it this entire record.
And I did love the drumming in the more active songs. That was my favorite time the drums were in.
Yeah, the weird, like, it didn't what the drummer wanted to do on that second half of the record just didn't match the vibe, and it seemed like he didn't sign in, or he didn't, like, buy in completely to what they were trying to do in that second half.
I think they thought that they needed something of a steady beat through every song on this record, which is an interesting choice. One that I did enjoy for some of the softer songs, but not all of them.
For sure.
Very thuddy kind of snare and kick, very punchy.
Super punchy.
The bass great throughout the entire album.
The production of the bass is probably my favorite on the album.
Yes, and the production of the album is really good.
Top notch.
I'd say, second half, a lot more chill, a lot less, like, weird stuff happening, though, like, You First was a very odd kind of riff and feel throughout the song. I liked the Glock.
Who doesn't like a good Glock every now and then?
And I'd say they really gave their best effort to kind of make every song catchy in its own way. Mm-hmm. Succeeding more in some parts a lot better than others. I'm gonna give this one a solid, like, 8.2 is where my heart's at.
Damn, that's a really good rating.
I mean, the production on it's all really good.
Yeah.
My favorite songs that we'll talk about soon are going to be stuck in my head for days. I love the music on this record. The music is so interesting throughout this whole record. And I'm excited to go back and kind of decipher it a little better and pick up on some more stuff.
Yeah, like, I agree with everything you said, and I feel like the reason why I liked this album so much is because it reminded me of stuff that I was listening to in high school and in college, like mid 2000s, like Foles, like I mentioned at one point while we were listening to the album. Some of this stuff reminded me a lot of Foles. It reminded me of the Killers. It reminded me of like 80s post punk. There was some math rock in there, a lot of dancey stuff, and it just kind of brought me back to a certain era of music. And I don't know if that's what they were trying to do. I know that Haley mentioned that Block Party was a pretty big influence on this record. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's kind of interesting when you think about songs like The News and C'est Comme Ça, where you're hearing that kind of Block Party type guitar work going on. Yeah. The distorted single string ring, type of stuff that they were doing, which I really enjoyed. And this is almost my intro to Paramore. So for me as a standalone record, I thought this was really, really good. But I totally am on the same page as you, man. That B-side where you could say that this album is a little unbalanced or imbalanced or whatever is because that B-side kind of, when I say that the worst songs are in the second half of the album, I mean the less energetic songs, and that's basically a synonym for me. When there's less energy,
caveman.
It's so fucking true though, especially when I'm listening to a rock record, and and I just kind of wish that there was more thought put into the track listing and taking someone through a journey versus front loading an album and really hitting you in the face with it, and then kind of leaving you high and dry by the end with the energy that they had the goodwill that they had built up in that first half of the album,
Right, sure.
And that's saying that with the caveat that I actually really liked the second half of the album too, but I wanted more of the first half, and it almost felt like the B-side was a different record. Is what it sort of felt like to me.
A lot
less disco, right? A lot less dance stuff.
Yeah.
But I was honestly, and I'm still really surprised at how much I genuinely really enjoyed this record. I never thought of myself as a Paramore fan. I never gave them a chance. I didn't care. I wasn't interested.
I'm glad you liked it, man.
I really, really enjoyed it. Genuinely. I mean, I'm going to give it an 8.0.
Wow.
Which is high. It's high for us, right? We're usually pretty fucking critical. Even when we like something, we still will give it a 6 something sometimes.
Right, yeah.
When we start really liking something is when we get to the 7s and 8s. And I did genuinely really enjoy that record. And I think it wouldn't be unfair for people to criticize it for some of the things that we called out, I don't know how Paramore, like diehard Paramore fans are going to feel about the record.
I think if you're a diehard Paramore fan, there's nothing they could do anymore to immediately put you off.
You think?
Because they've gone from like basically punk emo to Disney pop to whatever this is.
To kind of, post-punk type of alt rock was what this album is, right?
Yeah, and I think good production, good musicianship. Like, they got some pretty good songs on here. I don't see this being
this is not going to be a flop. No way. There's too many catchy, fun songs on this for it to be a flop. If anything, like, the first 5 songs could be 5 singles. You know what I mean?
Sure. And it seems like it may have been.
It does kind of look like that is funny, right? Like, you see C'est Comme Ça and This Is Why and The News, and all of those have multi-million plays.
Yeah.
On them, and it's kind of that just speaks directly to what we were talking about the way that they designed this record, and architected it. But 8.0, 8.2, solid fucking album. I had pretty much not one song that I disliked on this record. I think they're all honorable mentions except my 2 favorite.
Yeah, I think there's not a bad song. I think we were a little disappointed by the end, but again, that's our own biases.
Right, and Thick Skull is my least favorite.
Yeah.
And I didn't dislike it. It's just, it's the one that I was most bummed about.
But I will say, like, my favorite 2 songs are on the very, very...
Oh, yeah.
Very up near the beginning of the album. I'd say... Yeah, not a bad song. I'd say like Figure 8, C'est Comme Ça. I think Liar were kind of some honorable mentions.
Yeah,
Running
Liar
Out
was
of
a really
Time.
good one. Yeah.
But one of my favorites, and I think it might be one of your favorites.
I wouldn't be surprised.
This is why I don't leave the house.
Yeah.
It's
The
that,
News.
baby. It's track 1.
Yeah, well, I thought that was the News. This is
Oh my
why.
God.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
No, this is why is definitely an honorable mention for me, but it's not. It is not one of my favorites.
So you don't like the one that goes, "This is why I don't leave the house."
No, I like it, and I share that sentiment, fucking every single day of my life. But no, I really like the song. Great opener to the album.
I think so too. It's got a real dancey vibe the whole time. The chorus is very catchy and it comes in near explosively. I really liked that bridge kind of there before the last chorus, I believe. I love the drums throughout the whole song.
Yeah, the drums are killing it. Drums killed it for a majority of this album. And yeah, and this song you can tell that he's having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. You kidding me? I would. This sounds like such a fun song to play.
Yeah, this sounds like a fun song to play no matter what instrument you're playing. The bass is having fun. The guitar is funky, loud, in your face. All the group vocals are super fun. And Haley just kind of like, again, the way that she's able to play with her voice so much is just really fun to listen to. And on this song specifically, she does like at least 2 or 3 different things with her voice. And I think it's really fun.
Let's move on to, I guess, what you said is one of your Narnugs, which is my second Narnug. Is The News.
I figured we were going to share this one.
This is probably the most, I guess, aggressive song on the album, quote unquote.
Yeah, it was my favorite lyrics on the album too.
Yes, it made you feel some shit.
Dude, yeah, I mean, her saying like every second our collective heart breaks, altogether every single head shakes, and it's like you said, it's that you get that doom scroll anxiety feeling, and like it really brought us both back to 2020 and the confusion and the fear that we were all feeling at that time. And and unfortunately I feel like altogether every single head shakes. I'm just like, I don't think every single head was shakes at the same thing, unfortunately.
No,
but her saying like this just scratches the surface, we don't know the half of it. It's like, oh my god, dude, like this is making me so fucking anxious.
But also just very interesting guitars throughout the whole thing. Again, another great performance by the drummer.
For sure. And this is the most Block Party-esque of any song on the record.
Bassist killing it again, killing it throughout this whole fucking record.
That bam, like we called it out when we were listening to it. We're just like, this is such a tense song.
But even then, I feel like the chorus could have gone a little bigger, a little more intense, a little more explosive.
Yeah. They needed really heavy distorted guitars, like driving that chorus home would have been really cool.
Again, probably a bias, but
it's just what we
little
want.
Distorted babies, you know?
Yeah, man. Well, like you said, we're cave people.
We're little cave people.
We just want to bang rocks together.
I like when the guitar be loud.
Yeah, guitar loud, drums fast. But it's all, and I got like, again, we're talking about Block Party vibes. I got Killers vibes in this a lot. I got just a certain era of alt rock that I have such a soft spot for, and you know how babies have like a soft spot on their head?
Yeah, that's kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's on my heart.
Damn, dude.
Oh,
that's
God
deep.
Damn it.
I feel that.
You felt that, right?
Yeah, I felt that.
Cool. I felt it too as I ripped my fucking earbud out of my ear.
Just need to feel something again after that.
Well, my second choice nug might surprise you a little bit.
Okay, well, let's get to it.
It was almost Liar, because I genuinely really, really like that song. But it was another one of the kind of softer songs, and it was Big Man, Little Dignity.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of liked how, it's very... I don't think Haley is slamming whoever she's talking about as hard as she might feel like she is on this song. Like You know, they're not exactly like the best fucking insults or the best like, you know, roasts that you've ever heard.
Well, sure.
But I've still really liked it. I liked the music a lot. That kind of slow, like I don't know, it had just like this kind of slow rock song, and it felt like a moment to kind of bring everything down in the show. And we even mentioned it while we were listening to it, that like it was nice to have that in there to kind of break it up a little bit, like that first half of the album.
Yeah, it was right after C'est Comme Ça,
which is like so disco-y and dancey.
Yeah. And this is just a nice, like, this is a nice, very like kind of slow tempo, little song, and that chorus, big man, ooh,
little dignity. Yeah. So it's just nice, and I love the synthesizer matching her, and like bling bling bling. I'm like, oh, that's so like 80s, like fucking The Cure type stuff, and I'm a sucker for that. And yeah, it was just randomly that was one of the ones that just like unexpectedly kind of landed hard with me, and I feel like that song, tell me what you think, could have been a Margot Price song.
Sure. You just put a little fucking steel guitar in there. That
right?
Pretty much gets it.
I feel like that song would not feel weird on the Margot Price record that we listened to recently. And that's kind of weird to say that about a Paramore song.
It's, you know, a parallel that I would draw would be closer to like a Boy Genius type of thing. I don't know if like a Lucy Dacus or something like that.
I think Haley has worked with Boy Genius before. Either Boy Genius either helped them on this album, or they helped Haley on her solo record.
I mean, Boy Genius is like a super group of 3 very talented like singers.
Okay.
Phoebe Bridgers, Lucy Dacus, and
right.
Yeah,
they recently had an album that we were going to listen to. I think they worked with Haley either on some of these songs or on her solo stuff.
That would make sense. That is kind of the vibe on a lot of this.
Interesting.
I could see them touring together.
Well, man, that'd be kind of a sick show.
Well,
here we are at the end of all things, Ash, and we want to know what you guys thought of this record, man. This is probably a very important record for a lot of people, so I want to know what the diehards thought about this. I want to know what the noobs thought about this.
The casuals.
I want to know what the cashes thought. And yeah, leave a comment on our YouTube. Like and subscribe to everything. We're on Instagram at EBPcast. Rate our podcast on Spotify if you guys can do that. That actually helps us out a lot.
Go for it. Fucking have fun with it, you know?
Yeah,
just
leave
give
it,
us
roast
a good
us.
rating, but you can say whatever you want.
And you know what's kind of cool now is that on Spotify we can have like a Q&A thing with people who are listening to our episodes. So while you're listening, you can like leave a question on the app while you're listening to our episode, and we will answer your question on the next episode. How about that? All right, so let's get the Q&A section going. Let's liven up that forum, and let us know what you guys thought of this album. Let us know what albums you guys want us to listen to. Thanks again, man. Ash, we did it.
We did it, man. This, Lucas, this was good.
This was good.
All right, and we end it.
There's no joke. You ended it. Did you actually end it? Like for real, though? No one's talking. Don't say that like yourself. You're not nothing. You're better than nothing, at least. Yeah, well, you kind of are. Okay, I'm stopping recording.